Welcome to Film Bluffs, a place for free-range, non-GMO, dog water opinions. So come on in, take a seat, and let's make fun of the kid with no internet.
Music fades in.
Every week, I think it's going to be good.
Christ.
The episode is really only as good as the intro, and that's
Where
why
does
all
Christ on a
episodes
cracker
finish.
come from?
It's actually supposed to be Christmas.
Christmas cracker.
Anyway,
Chronicrons, welcome back to another tantalizing episode of Film Bluffs.
Ooh.
I'm your host, Fuckhead.
Oh, you're not gonna say your name.
I did. I'm Fuckhead, he's Dipshit, and that's Assbutt.
I would like to let the record be known I'm not ass, but I hope that's who Joe was pointing, because there's no way I'm a dipshit. I'm Marshall. Below me on my screen is Trace. I don't know where that is in relation to anyone else's screen.
Hi, I'm Trace, and I think I'm gonna do it.
This week, actually, for a lot of us, it was a couple weeks ago, but we watched 12 Monkeys. That was the movie starring Bruce Willis and Brad Pitt as titular not monkeys. What did you guys think of this? Just a quick little snippet into your depraved mind.
So here's my thing. I liked it.
I think Jobe's gonna hate it. And
Jobe's not gonna like it as much as I liked it.
Because as someone who recommends this movie, like if it's a movie I've seen before and I recommend it to watch and you guys don't like it, that just destroys me. Like a little bit of my soul just goes, eh. But if it's a movie I haven't seen before, I'm just like, you know what? It was a shot in the dark. And that's how I kind of felt about this. I've seen it before, once in a blue moon. Actually, it wasn't once in a blue moon. It was just a singular time. There wasn't a moon. I think it was like noon. I watched this and I'm like, wow, this stuck in my mind. And then at some point I'm like, I need to get my buddies to watch this. And from Jobe's facial expressions, the dead eyes, the displeased nature,
and his lack of answering the question,
the pale gauntness of his
I was
face.
gonna answer the question with a little fucking tirade about how much I don't like the movie, despite me not responding yet.
I can't believe you didn't like the movie.
If you don't like the movie, just break it to me in a nice way.
Break it to him in a way he'll understand.
I liked it okay.
Oh my god!
Listen, if you hated it, you can tell the truth, Joe.
Yeah.
I mean, it's no Total Recall, but as far as like...
What?
Wait a second. It's not Total Recall?
Joe, did you watch Total Recall and then panic and then watch 12 Monkeys?
I think he's thinking of Total Drama Island.
I definitely think that's what happened. He's like, man, Total Recall is so good.
Which Total Recall?
It's the
original.
Right?
Yeah,
that's fine then. I just want to make sure there's more than one.
Anyways, enough. I lean into the camera for all our audio listeners out there, monkeying around.
Nice.
Wink, wink.
Hello.
I really like our narrative going.
So the whole deal with 12 Monkeys, it's a real fucking mind bender. I really want to say, it's set in a post-apocalyptic future. It's got a banger music. I want to get that out of the way because you come up on it, and you just dun 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 dun, and you're like, oh yeah, you get a little freaky with it. And then we open on like kind of like a dream sequence of a long hallway. There's gunfire. It's kind of blurry. No one knows what's going on. There's a dude there. It's kind of like, whoa, what's going on? And then we get introduced and said, hey, everybody, there was a virus. It was released in 1996 by the group known as the Army of the 12 Monkeys. And they released the virus. And then, boom, we're in 2035. Bruce Willis is playing the character James Cole, and he's a prisoner living underground Philadelphia in a compound. Cole is then selected to go back in time to find the original virus to help the doctors in 2035 develop a cure. He's doing this for reduced sentence. They had selected Cole because he has really good memory, I think is what they eventually say, or he says, but we're not too sure about that.
He's sharp like that.
Yeah, he's sharp. He's not super smart. He just has a really good memory and how to memorize and stuff like that.
He just remembers there being a lot of trauma.
Yeah, they go to send him to 1996. However, he ends up in 1990 in Baltimore. Now that he's a little crazy because, he's going from 2035, 1990, time machine and stuff. He's arrested and put into a mental hospital where he meets Brad Pitt, who is known as Jeffrey Goins. And Brad Pitt's character is he's got these really extreme environmentalists and like anti-consumerism, anti-corporate views, right? And while this is pretty much going on, Cole's interviewed by the doctors, and he's like, listen, there's a virus, and I'm trying to figure it out. You gotta give me a phone call. You gotta give me a phone call. And he's kind of, in a way, he's telling the truth from what he knows, but he's also saying it in a way that's silly and stupid. So he gets kind of locked up. He eventually escapes, but then locked back up. And then he wakes up in 2035. And the scientists are like, we got a voicemail on this telephone number that we've pieced together. And yeah, it says the army of the 12 monkeys has the virus. And they're like, do you know any of these people? And they start showing him a bunch of photos. And he's like, that's the motherfucker right there. It's Brad Pitt. They go, you know this man? You know this man? He's the leader of the 12 monkeys. And you're like, what? Brad Pitt's leader of the 12 monkeys? But he was in silly jail, right? And then the scientists are like, all right, Bruce Willis, we're going to send you back. Don't fuck this up, all right, guys? And he's like, no, I won't.
Nah.
I won't. And they send him back in time. Where is he? World War I. They fucked it up. Right? However, when he goes back to World War I, he sees another inmate who was also there. Right? Cole gets shot. And then somehow from World War I, he ends up in 1996. Now, the doctor who diagnosed him and sent to the mental hospital is given a lecture, and it's kind of her lecture is on a mental disease. It's kind of one of the themes for this movie. It's called the Cassandra Complex, where essentially it's based on the Greek oracle Cassandra, who was cursed with knowing the future, but no one believed them, right? And you can kind of see where this is going. Bruce Willis is this person where he knows the future.
He's Cassandra.
But no one believes him, right? Cole and her eventually meet up. He kidnaps her to take him to Philadelphia to figure out about the 12 monkeys, right? Bruce Willis and Brad Pitt eventually meet up. Brad Pitt's like, nah, I didn't do that. I don't know anything. It's all you, actually. You're the one making this up. You're crazy, man.
Crazy.
Bruce Willis, you're out of your mind, right? And this starts getting something in his head that, Bruce Willis is like, wait, am I crazy? Am I losing my mind? Boom, back to 2035. And he's like, am I for real? Am I for real? And the scientists are like, no, you're for real. You're for real. And he's like, all right, yeah, send me back to 1996 one more time. I got you. He shows up in 1996 and he's like, Doc, look, I'm actually crazy. You're correct. I'm losing my mind. Everything that you said, right, as this is why your narrative is this way, because you met this person in jail, yada, yada, yada. I'm actually insane. But then the doc's like, no, you're not insane because I got a picture of you in the World War I book, which is insane because you're here in 1996. So at this point, the doctor who thought he was insane believes he's actually sane. And Bruce Willis who was acting crazy and knew he was sane, thinks he's actually crazy. So what they decide to do is say, fuck it, we're going to the fucking Florida, right? They eventually learn that the army of the 12 monkeys, which Bruce Willis was a leader of, was not the source of the virus. What it was is they just released some monkeys, but they put it everywhere. They let everyone know about it. So there was all these...
And other animals.
Other animals, right? But they had all these posters and graffiti that it was the army of the 12 monkeys. We did it, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And kind of as a joke, the doc leaves a voicemail saying it was the Army of the 12 Monkeys because she thinks, oh, they're both crazy. So she leaves a voicemail as a joke. Ha ha, the 12 Monkeys did it, right? And that's the voicemail they end up playing to Cole back in the middle of the movie, right? And at that point, Cole's like, yo, I'm not coming back, Docs. And then another dude shows up and he's like, dude, you got to go shoot somebody. He's like, what? What do I have to do? And then here's the wildest Pete. White guy who was hanging out with Brad Pitt's dad sneaks a virus through and releases it across the world. And so, yeah, it's the whole thing. Bruce Willis draws his gun, pew, tries to shoot, gets shot by the police, and he dies. And then who's watching him die? Old Bruce Willis? Boy, Bruce Willis. Bum, 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 bum.
First thing, I would like to hop in and give a quick shout out to the casting director, because I'm being completely serious. When they showed kid Bruce Willis for the first time, I was immediately like, that's young Bruce Willis.
It's crazy that they got baby Bruce Willis recorded and then just used it for this.
Yeah,
I forgot. I mentioned this before recording. I said I need to mention this old homeless guy.
Oh yeah.
So there's this guy that you hear his voice several times in the 2035, 1990, and 1996. It's in 1996 is when you think you meet him in person for the first time. He comes up to Bruce Willis. You just think he's a crazy homeless guy, but then you figure out that he was an agent sent, back in time by the same people that Bruce Willis was sent by. But he pulled out his teeth, is where they keep the tracker for him, and that's how Bruce Willis eventually pulls the tracker out of his teeth, because this guy had been talking to him and be like, no, they're coming after you. They're all fucking weird. But listen, I love this movie. It's so fun. It's silly because Bruce Willis is a silly guy. Brad Pitt plays insane very well, I think. But it's just good, man. Like, I don't know how to say that. Is that just me? I think Jobe hates it.
That's our show.
Jobe hates this episode. I don't know what it is. Maybe it was because of the events leading up to our recording. I like it because Marshall knows that I'm a slut for time travel stories, and I really like that they go with the kind of I think it's I tried to do some research on it. I couldn't really find a whole lot, but I like the whole paradox theory of them he's going back to try and stop this thing, and he remembers all these events happening because he was there, but he doesn't know that he's there. He just kind of thinks it's a dream he keeps having. And then the events play out, and he's the reason that the virus gets released because he was unable to stop the virus from being released because he had misinformation. So then baby Bruce is just going to go back, and it's just going to keep looping around, and there's really no way to get out of it because he's never going to receive any new information that could actually stop the virus from being released and destroying the world.
It's one of those where it's even though they're back to stop it, the events of them trying to stop it is what happened, what causes the event to happen, kind of.
But at the same time, the only thing I would say I would want more in this is that, okay, so by the end of it, this little agency organization that sends him back knows that it's this other guy who is doing this, releasing the virus, and they figure that out, and they go, oh shit, it's not the 12 Monkeys, it's this random dude. Let's send somebody back about 30 minutes our time to let Bruce Willis know that it's actually not the 12 Monkeys and is in fact this guy instead, so that we can send him back to the right time with the correct information in order to stop this.
No, I don't think that's what they were trying to do. I think they were trying to get Bruce Willis killed because his events are what caused the whole thing. Because if you remember at the end when the guy's on the plane, one of the scientists from the future is sitting next to him and says, insurance. So I'm assuming they wanted the virus to happen, and that's why they sent Bruce Willis back.
And now they're just done with, now that they've wiped everyone out, they want to resume control of the Earth.
Yeah, because if they send Bruce Willis back, the virus goes through, so they have to send him back and tell him to stop it. give him all the tools necessary.
That would explain why they send someone back in time to hand Bruce Willis a gun instead of just sending him back to shoot him.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, yeah, because I guess that would be... that part I wasn't sure if it was like an unspoken thing because we didn't get a whole lot of resolution with it other than he's dead. But then it's just like, yeah, figure out that it's that guy and then send somebody else back to kill that guy. But yeah, if they want to do the virus and kill everybody, I guess that's fair. They can do that.
I mean, for me, it's kind
They're
of
allowed.
coupled with the fact that they've mentioned that they send all these people out and they never come back, is that they're setting up for the events to happen the way they want them to. And the way that everything is handled from the scientist side, you know, like obviously they're not stupid, but they feel like, oh yeah, Bruce Willis seems completely okay. We'll send him back. It'll be fine. No worries.
Now, I got nothing against lions. However, they show a lion in the beginning. It's an icy desert wasteland now that the apocalypse has happened. I assume it's probably just like December or something and very snowy in New York. But there's a lion on top of one of the big buildings doing a little roar, and he's afraid of it. And we come to realize that the only reason a lion's in the middle of New York where it's not in its natural habitat is because it was from a zoo. However, it's like 40 years in the future, and lions don't live that long. So we're led to believe that these lions are just procreating in a habitat that isn't suitable for them? I don't think so.
Lions, I assume, would just grab deer.
Yeah, but eventually all the deer are gone because there's other predators in the zoo that are also not.
Yeah, but there's also other prey in the zoo. They let
like
flamingos
what?
And shit out.
They wouldn't eat flamingos. Flamingos fly.
Trace wants
and
one.
And you think they're taking out giraffes? I don't think so. Too tall, first of all.
Trace wants one of two things. He wants the lions to swim all the way back to Africa to go back to where they were.
Get a boat. What do you think? I'm not insane.
Get a boat.
Yeah.
Just, oh, look at me.
Okay. No, Marshall, I see you're going to this. I agree. You do need a boating license, I think, to charter.
There's no boating registration office anymore.
Yeah, the DNR doesn't exist anymore.
The giraffes are there. They're the new society. They're stamping shit.
Because the giraffes are prey animals that they're going to be running.
I just think they're like a tad bit smarter.
I don't think that's true.
This is just the plot of Zootopia, I think.
Yeah.
This is the prelude to Zootopia. This is exactly how that all starts. The virus actually mutates all the animals and makes them slightly humanoid.
Okay.
Slightly.
Back to what the whole thing, what we're doing here is we're going to talk about 12 monkeys. Hey. I think like Jobe said, the casting director did a great job with the little kid, but I think Bruce Willis in this role and Brad Pitt was phenomenal. Also, they make the bit on where they have Bruce Willis say, "I see dead people," and I think that was very funny. I laughed.
Good job, casting director.
I pointed
that line for Bruce Willis to say.
I pointed at Bruce Willis and went, "Ha ha ha! You're gonna die again."
No, it's just for me. It was I like the parts where they're talking about, we're trying to figure out, is he telling the truth? And you see glimpses of him telling the truth. I hate Joe. I'm going to stop talking. No, you're done. No, I'm done. Nope.
Why? What are we picking on Marshall
What are you being
today?
such a baby for?
I'm a little guy. No, but like the parts where Bruce Willis is like predicting the future, right? And the doc's like, okay, he's kind of cracked right now, right? He's getting this right. And then that one police officer's like, we could go out for lunch maybe. And she's like, no, shut the fuck up. But with him predicting the future, and she's like, maybe he's not crazy. He's not crazy. He's telling the truth. And he's like, immediately, I'm a lunatic.
No, you're right. I'm crazy. And they're like, no. We carbon dated the bullet. The bullet? The one in your leg when you were dancing in the river and went poof.
No,
all right, lady, now you sound crazy.
It's an antique.
Nah, it's cool.
It is funny that, like, when he decides, he's like, actually, you're right, lady. I've been crazy this whole fucking time. And then she's like, then how do you explain this or that? And he's just like, I don't know. You're the fucking doctor.
I don't know. You tell me with all your science.
It's up to you to tell me how my delusions work.
I'm from 2035.
It's like, maybe I saw something. And the 12 monkey, I saw something. Maybe I heard something. And she's like, What? That doesn't make sense. He's like, oh no, I'm crazy.
I'm crazy, lady.
That's paint on a wall, and then she starts painting on the wall.
Let's fucking go.
Yeah, but first off, choosing the name 12 Monkeys, Army of the 12 Monkeys is a great
That's a good name.
environmentalist terror group, as
Sure.
an environmentalist group name, I feel like. I mean, I don't think you could do much better in today's society with call yourself the Army of the 12 Monkeys. Everyone knows what you're about.
Yeah.
Monkey.
And any other animal name just kind of wouldn't have as much of a ring to it, you know?
The Army of the 12 Capybaras doesn't hit the same.
Nah. Maybe it's
Why
the
does it have to
syllables.
be 12 monkeys?
I imagine
one for
there's
each
probably
power.
12 of them.
Isn't
We saw them though. There's like 7 at most.
I know
Okay.
it's based
Well,
on
maybe there's 6 and the driver, and each person counts as 2 monkeys.
yeah, I don't know, man.
Oh,
Yeah, you remember the scene when they kidnap his dad?
yeah, and they'll go.
And I just really like the part where it's like, all right, let's take this fucker downtown. It's like, my boy, I know that's you. I can tell from your voice. No, you can't.
Nope, that's not me. Him in the insane asylum, though, I don't know why. I have no particular reason to think this, but it reminded me a lot of Marshall. Just his cadence
elaborate.
and a way of speaking, where he was just kind of like all up in Bruce Willis's face. He's like, no, you gotta listen to me. Okay. So the guys in here, get off my chair. You gotta remember this. The paper clips are in the drawer, right?
I don't think I've ever acted that way. I
No,
talk
it's funny.
in a completely different
Nope.
cadence.
If there's one thing I know about Marshall, he's pretty monotone. He's pretty sedated.
Okay, anybody who watches this and all the way through, just watch until we do an inevitable Warhammer 40k episode, and just remember I'm saying this, and then go and listen to Marshall talk.
Stop
Nah.
laughing. You're shaking the whole
Once we do Henry Cavill's Warhammer 40k, whatever.
TV show.
Yeah, we'll do
Another
it.
thing that's happening, isn't it?
Yeah, shout
Yeah.
out to Henry Cavill for being a nerd.
Yeah, true.
I know nothing about Warhammer.
That's fine.
Shout out to Henry Cavatelli.
Oh, Cavett, I want to go back to school. Not like
For me?
not like high school or middle school. Just for the Cavatelli.
Okay.
For me, I would have liked. I think I would have liked the movie better if us as a viewer were not 100% sure if Bruce Willis was crazy or not. But I think that would have been a little too confusing because they needed to have some story. Like, it needed to make sense. And I feel like if we didn't know as much as we did know going through like the time travel, we'd be too lost. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I don't know. I feel like they tried to go a little crazy with this dialogue. At one point, he's like talking about. He's like, I don't know what reality is real, and I understand that he's just really confused because he's like jumping through fucking time wormholes. But it just seems like a weird kind of phrasing of it because like he's not in realities. He's like they're both real. He's just jumping through time. But like he's probably confused, so I understand it. But to me, I was just kind of like that's a weird way of phrasing that, but I kind of get what they're trying to go for, I suppose.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I kind of see what Trace is saying, but at the same time, it's kind of like, I don't know. I also, like for me, I kind of like how they didn't explain everything, like, to us. You know, they're just like, oh yeah, we can send people back in time. How do we do it? Don't fucking ask questions. How did he get back? Don't ask that question either, you stupid bitch.
All right, so you know bubble wrap, right? We're going to get a bunch of big bubble wrap. You're going to be inside of it, and then we're going to slowly squish you into big lights. And then you'll be in 1996.
I feel
What's
like
the
that's
problem?
what helps in this narrative of we don't really know. For me, we do know, but at the same time, it could be you could see it as Bruce Willis is losing his mind. It's like, okay, he got locked up in a jail and then wound up in 2035. Like, how did he get there? There's no time machine in his jail cell, right? And it's kind of like, well, are we losing our mind? But then you do see evidence that he was, traveling through time. But at the same time, it's like maybe it's his twin, long lost. long lost twin.
Nah, it would have been funnier if he hadn't been going through time at all, and it was just them putting him into a big pocket of air and then squeezing him into lights and then just like flashing him with a bunch of lights and pulling him back out. We get an alternate ending where they're just laughing and throw him back in the cell in 2035.
What did y'all think about the bringing up the Cassandra complex and then immediately saying and then being like, "Hey, by the way, this is our theme right here. This is Bruce Willis. Go on."
I don't know if I like it immediately, because like I kind of like that, because we kind of already know, right? Like he's already kind of predicted things to like all of them, and like, hey, I know how things are going to play out. Then we kind of later on, after he's been back in 2035 for a hot second, then we start getting the whole lecture of Cassandra. But then it's like immediately him coming in and he's like, yeah, the boy's not actually kidnapped. It's a prank that his friends are pulling. What? Never mind. I probably saw it on a movie or something, and he saw the same movie. I don't know. So like, you know, we kind of immediately jump into him predicting the future, and then immediately it coming true, and then her going, "How did you know that?" So I feel like we should have waited a little longer, because we kind of already knew, and then after that, it kind of seemed like it was forced information of like, see, this is what we're doing with him. And we're like, yeah, we get that.
Jobe, thoughts, boy?
My immediate thought is I have no idea what Trace is mad at.
I think he's mad.
It's just like, it seems like a weird pacing to have it be like throughout most of the, like the beginning of this movie, it's him telling the future and then having kind of a bit of a pause, and he hasn't done that in a while. Then we get the lecture of her talking about the Cassandra complex of like, you know, being able to tell the future, but nobody believes them. We already kind of go, oh yeah, Bruce Willis's character is doing that. But immediately after, we're jumped right back into them forcing the whole him trying to tell the future again. And it just seems like they're trying too hard to make the connection that people should have already made once the Cassandra complex was brought up.
Should have been more subtle, I think, is what Joe wants.
Yeah. Like them bringing it up immediately after having set it up throughout the first part of this movie seems very in your face and forced.
I think one thing, if they wanted to do the cyclical nature of time thing or what have you, yeah, have it be Bruce Willis inadvertently gives Brad Pitt the idea to do the 12 monkeys and release the virus. I'm not particularly fond of the twist at the end where the 12 monkeys are just an ineffectual group of punks and it's just this completely other random guy who
it's not completely random. He worked with Brad Pitt's dad because they had mentioned that there was a virus that Brad Pitt's dad was working on, and so that's how Bruce Willis thought of the connection, right? Oh, 12 monkeys, Brad Pitt, his dad, the virus, right? And that's why he's saying don't release it. But then it turns out he was just going to release the monkeys, while at the same time this other scientist, and I think that he was inspired by someone or someone said something to him to make him go, "You're right. I should." No, it was the security measures were updated because the doctor had told Brad Pitt's dad to update the security measures that this army of the 12 monkey was coming. So he gave all the passwords and stuff to this other scientist who then decided to go on and...
I kind of get the confusion there though, because it is a little bit, it's not like super detached from it, but like you kind of understand, like, you know, you can get from point A to point C pretty easily of like, oh, he talks to him, Brad Pitt is involved because of his dad, and then because of all that, then, you know, this guy gets it, and if Bruce Willis wasn't there, that none of that stuff probably would have happened. In the moment, I was liking more of the idea that Brad Pitt's character is just insane. So his original idea was
just insane.
Yeah. I like the idea though that because he's insane, he went, "Yeah, I am gonna release the virus. That sounds really cool." And then his dad goes, "I don't have it anymore." And he's like, "Well, shit. I'll release some zoo animals then. That's the next best thing." And then him doing that instead and forgetting about the virus.
For me, I think part of the reason it doesn't work too well, the first time I watched it, was the scientist that you see like take the virus, he's wearing all his lab getup, and you really can't see him besides his face, and it's kind of like dark. And then once he gets to the airport, he's wearing bright yellow jacket and long flowing yellow hair, and you're like, is this the same guy? Because I don't think he looks like the same guy.
No, because even when she looks at the newspaper that has Brad Pitt's dad and that guy in it, she immediately makes the connection that he's gonna release the virus, and I took a second to go back, look at the picture, and then look at the guy, and I'm like, these guys look nothing alike to me. I would never in a million years look at that newspaper after I've briefly looked at a guy for 3 microseconds and go, oh, he's gonna destroy the world. I would simply go, that guy's wearing a lot of yellow today, and then just move on with my life, and then die in probably 2 months.
Choice.
I guess that's why
Oh, Jobe's glitching out, so now he can't insult me.
Do it, Jobe. Get his ass.
Wait, no.
Get his ass, Jobe.
I was saying that's why the world has ended, Trace, because you weren't able to make that connection.
Yeah. So just let it be known, if you're ever going to release a virus and you have your picture in the newspaper, you are safe from me. Just wear a lot of yellow.
Speaking of yellow, after I have this Capri Sun.
I actually hate that in Madison. I know that I've asked this a lot and it hasn't happened. Please do cut that.
Do we still do elevator music for the Capri Sun break?
Probably.
Yeah.
I don't think we've done anything else.
Eventually, we're gonna get professional music done by not professional, and we're gonna say it's professional, and then that'll be our music.
Get on that, Noah.
All right.
He's now watching our episodes, or so he says.
So now that we've suckled down that sweet nectar that is Capri Sun,
a great way to start your day.
Yeah, Capri Sun. You
just get on it. Sponsor us already.
assholes.
Hey, whoa! That's not how we get sponsors. Or maybe it's how we get sponsors from people who are competing against Capri Sun, like Kool-Aid Jammers.
Boys, I'm gonna land us that Sunny D contract.
I'll pretend to like Sunny D for the contract.
Can't tell you the last time I had a Sunny D, but I don't think I'm not gonna finish what I was gonna say. I don't think I was in the teens yet.
I was but a baby.
I was but a little boy, unaware of the.
All right, now I understand the quality of the drink. However, how would we feel about being sponsored by Yoo-Hoo?
Oh.
Like, I have a confession to make, and it's that when I was young, like probably 4 or 5, there was a time in my life when I had the option between Yoo-Hoo and actual chocolate milk, and I did choose Yoo-Hoo. I since grew out of that, but that was a good year of my life. Yeah, they were cool.
You can stop.
Or they also come in those glass bottles, which is just like a classic.
Who doesn't love a good chocolate drink?
All right, so there's a lot of hostility. We're going to take a couple of steps back and mediate. Jobe, why do you feel the way that you do about why you said it like that with that inclination?
I thought it'd be funny.
All right, now let's bring it back in. Marshall, how do you feel about this?
I just want to finish what I was saying.
All right, good. Mediating. Give me my license to therapize.
Jobe Kuhn, you
Don't say that.
So Trace and I both enjoy this movie quite a bit. I'm not saying it's the best movie I've ever seen, but it's a good, entertaining movie to watch. Slightly, moderately above an average movie for me. Jobe, you don't feel that way. You think it's fine, I think is the words you described it as, and the other words you used were fine, okay, I think fine again. So elaborate, Joe. Either what dragged this movie down for you, or what could have made this movie better?
I think at one point you described it as 12 monkey butts.
Out of how many?
Fine.
And okay.
I honestly feel like we're saying the same thing. I'm just less enthused.
Okay, so why are you not as enthused by this?
So you
Joe?
love the movie then?
So obviously, if we're saying the same thing, you'd be here.
By definition, you should love this movie.
Look,
we're watching it again. We're watching it again next week.
I had a long night.
Why?
I'm not used to being a night owl like some co-hosts.
Trace.
Oh.
Yes. Overall, I mean, like,
I got just as much sleep, but I'm fine.
I think pacing is probably the biggest issue for the most. I don't know. It feels like there's good scenes, but I think I've said this before about something else. I can't remember what, but there's good scenes. It's getting from scene to scene that there's sometimes a bit of friction.
No, you said it about Tombstone.
Except this one has it worse, I feel.
It's because they're not cowboys, and Jobe likes cowboys.
There's no dot holiday.
And you like time travel. Who cares?
Yeah, and Tombstone had time travel.
We were back in the age of cowboys.
It took me back.
Yeah, Jobe's big thing was there's no Doc Holliday to kind of give you a little, something every now and then. You just had to deal with either Brad Pitt or Bruce Willis off their fucking rails, which I love seeing Bruce Willis in roles where he's kind of fucking out of his mind and not just playing action hero all the time. Obviously, Die Hard is fantastic, right?
Yeah.
But like, where he's just going cuckoo bananas for a little bit. I'm like, I guarantee Bruce Willis is just having the time of his fucking life, you know? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
he's just having a great time. And obviously that translated well on screen, except for some people. Some people didn't get that translation. Some people said, Bruce Willis is having a fine time. He's perfectly fine.
He's okay.
He's not fine. He's going through a lot of mental and physical issues right now, Joe.
Do you know how long he was in prison? I don't either, but I imagine it was
like
at least probably
hours.
A year. I want to know what got him into prison. Did he kill a man?
No, it was crazy.
Oh.
No, he fought off like 6 people, though. That's what they said. They're like, we saw him crazy,
I
man.
think he's talking about the future prison, right?
Yeah, 2035.
Yeah, he probably shanked somebody.
He probably went, man, diseases, that sucks. Stab a guy. I feel better now.
Yeah.
And before this slander goes on anymore, I just want to say I do like Bruce Willis in this movie, yeah.
So you like Bruce Willis. Christopher Plummer's in this movie. He played Dada.
What?
Christopher Plummer.
Dada.
He plays Dada.
Let's talk about Madeline Stowe, Catherine Riley.
Madeline Stowe. She's in movies.
She's in The Last of the Mohicans.
Classic Last of the Mohicans.
Yep, and other things such as
this is
China
classic
Moon.
Mohican moment.
Tropical Snow, which was the sequel, of course, to Tropical Thunder.
I don't think it was.
It's just Tropic Thunder. I think she did. I think she had a fun little character in this. Like, she does kind of, she has that kind of very professional, like, yeah, I'm a doctor, I know how to fix people.
I'm walking.
Other doctors, please let me fix Bruce Willis. I can save him. And then he just disappears, and she's like, fuck, my career is ruined. And then she goes on.
I can fix them.
She's doing lectures, and then suddenly she's walking around going, no, Bruce, you don't understand. The bullet that hit your leg. Oh, it was from the past.
Don't forget that happens, and then the fucking hotel guy is like, "Now listen, you can't be walking in here like that. Yeah, this is an hourly place. You don't charge, but we don't charge by the fucking day." Calls up his homeboy. Look, someone's stepping to his turf, and then Bruce Willis kills a guy. Again.
I know. With a complete misunderstanding, this man, she's just trying to figure out time travel and shit. This man walks in and goes, "Prostitute, get out of here!" And she's like, "Huh?"
She's like, I'm not
"You're part of the 12 Monkeys, aren't you?" And then they start killing each other.
I love how confused Bruce Willis looks every time he kills someone. He's always killing them and just going,
"Wait a second."
It's always
What's
like those.
that?
Disney, you ever see those shots where it's like a caveman kills someone for the first time, or picks up a rock, and they're just like, whoa. They stand up and they're just like, whoa.
just like the first episode of Blue Eyes Samurai.
Joe, you watched that? Joe, you watched
Watched
it?
the first
Oh my
episode.
god. I feel
this
like
is a behind the scenes bit. I had hounded Joe for about 3.5 years to watch this fucking show, and he's just now getting to it. That's
I
probably
want to watch
Ron.
more, but my Netflix was buffering something fierce.
Wow. Probably because your new cool internet in a place that I won't disclose.
Leave me alone.
It's in Los Angeles. Go fucking pipe bomb his house or something.
Oh my god.
Don't do that.
What would Carl think?
Carl who? Sagan?
My
It's
landlord.
Oh. Dude, don't dox Carl.
Dude,
Don't
Dude.
worry, he doesn't live here.
do you hang
Oh,
out?
good.
Carl?
Where does he live?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
is that your new friend that comes by and makes you stop talking to us? Anyway, we're getting a little too deep, and I'm gonna start crying.
I'm
Wait,
sorry to
no,
I-
do it.
pause.
I think the
Your
time travel's
audience.
just frying his brain, and he's just confused about the concept of death.
Dear audience, there was one day last week I didn't talk to these guys.
It wasn't
And-
that. It was that you were actively talking to us in here, and we were like, "Oh, hey, Jobe, do you want to play a game?" Yeah, sure. And then we get like, we're about to start the game, and he went, "Oh, actually, my new friends brought me food that I haven't tried before, so I'm actually gonna leave you guys and go hang out with them. I guess maybe I'll see you someday." Verbatim.
What a bastard.
go ahead and vote down below. Is Joe
So when
a
I
bastard?
said there was
The
one day I
answer is
didn't talk
yes,
to these guys, I was
definitionally.
wrong. There was one day I talked to these guys only a little bit
Yeah.
instead of a lot.
It was like maybe 5 minutes, and then you went. Has anybody else had
This is the
like Indian
inter-
food or something?
Yeah, this
This
is
is
this is our breakup album.
This is the intervention they have in the Hallmark movie where it doesn't get through to the character, and then like it's gonna be like 20 minutes later, you're gonna find out your cool new friends don't actually care about you. They don't want to know
Yeah.
about your triumphs and struggles.
Today's
And then you-
This is gaslighting.
no,
and then Evanescence is gonna come on, and Joe's
Oh,
be like,
hell yeah.
Why is Evanescence coming on?
because it's
the
kicks ass.
speakers.
No, it's today's episode's gonna be called "We're Breaking Up," and then next week is "We're Back, Baby."
We patched it out.
We patched it
How long
12
is this
monkeys.
episode?
Yeah,
been?
remember
it's
that bit
less
where
than
he put
50
the
minutes. We
spider
gotta
in
keep
his
going.
mouth? Nothing?
I
Spider in his
got-
mouth?
Oh, yeah. And then
He's
he's
like, I
Ah,
brought
that
this.
was
there's like, "Did you bring anything useful back?" And he's like, "I ate a spider."
I
Does that
bought
help?
this, but it was in my stomach, so I'm pretty sure it's dead.
I'm pretty sure I killed it. Watch.
It's
Nah.
I don't know. See, Bruce Willis gives a weird performance.
I
Like
thought you said you liked him.
I did, but hear me out. Shut the fuck up. My God.
We need discourse, or the show is not gonna be funny.
We're recording on Discord.
No.
He
Oh shit! He picked up his mic.
it's
He's
when he's
spin
fucking
around.
out and about, and he's just like dancing around in the river. He's like, oh, I love this air, and there's water,
I
and
do.
the fish. I fucking love the fish.
No, I love it when he acts like a child, because I feel like I genuinely think that time travel is kind of frying his brain, because he's just sitting there like all angsty and like, God, everything sucks. It's the worst. He turns on the radio and he's like, "Oh, hey, wait, no, that one, no." I
mean,
like
He was
this. I
I have
like
a
this
special
song.
announcement for you. Go to Florida Keys. And he's like,
I
don't
can't.
know what a Florida Keys is.
Like, they're not talking to you. Well, I want to listen to the music stuff
All
again.
right. I'm gonna ask you guys to close your eyes. Now we gotta put ourselves
Me?
in Bruce Willis. Yeah. Close your eyes.
I'm in Bruce Willis.
All right. Now here you are. You're about 35. You don't have a home. You're in jail underground. You've been underground
This is too
in
real.
jail since you're probably like 6 years old. So you're about 29 years just underground.
Definitely older than 6 in the airport.
Okay, no, yeah,
No,
that's
eyes
straight
are
up
closed.
implying
Eyes are closed.
Bruce
Eyes are
Willis.
closed.
Bruce Willis gets shot in the airport, and some security guard walks over to a random kid and goes, "You're coming with me, asshole."
You murderer!
Keep your eyes closed, Joe. Eyes closed. You've never been You've never been able to swim. You've never heard music before. You don't know what a Florida is. All you know is
They were on their way.
right? All just this shitty shit. And then boom, you get music, car, and good air and nice water. You're gonna be losing your mind.
Okay,
now,
but
audience,
I would give a better line
Close
read
your eyes. Close your eyes.
All right, it's gonna be close to the rest of the episode.
Jobe doesn't want you to let you know this, but the first time he ever came and visited me down in my
What?
current state, he acted just like Bruce Willis whenever he saw something new. He's like, wow, that's a
What is
3-lane
this?
road out there. And he was losing his goddamn mind.
He's over here picking up an armadillo carcass and going, wow, do you know what this is?
He said, that's an armadillo.
Wow,
Yeah,
it even tastes like it.
I went down to Texas and was like, oh, I love these Buc-ee's.
You did do that?
No, okay, but like, when you first saw Buc-ee's, when I first took
You first.
yeah, I got excited. You're like, man, this place kicks out. Holy shit, is that $100 bill? And then you just like walked over, you're like, this place is the best. I had to get in the car and go, okay, Jobe, I'm glad that you like it, but I need to, I can't stress enough. The $100 bit is like a one-time thing. You will not recreate that at a Buc-ee's.
And then Trace went to look over at Jobe and he was gone, leaving nothing in his seat.
And then I was
Leaving
like,
Trace
wow.
to consider, is this a figment of my imagination? He looks out the window to ponder and reflect, and when he sees Jobe just over there pissing on the ground.
My first thought is, great, I have to make the 12-hour drive to Iowa by myself.
On the ground, my mouth eating because I ripped my teeth out.
Yeah, that was a little brutal.
That, yeah, for a second I forgot about the teeth thing. He just
out of the bathroom.
Yeah.
He's like, bad news.
For a second I completely forgot about the teeth thing. I thought he just like bit the guy's ear off or something.
No, that's why he had the
I was like-
fucking pliers, you dipshit.
Well, I
Actually,
saw that after he
wait,
turned around.
There's one more thing
I bet.
There's one more thing.
that I have a question about.
Okay.
Go on. I'll answer.
So maybe this is just because I'm a post 9/11 child.
Whoa.
You're
okay.
not.
Why
You're
are
the
we
oldest
bringing
one
this
out of all
up?
of us.
But how the fuck did that airplane take off after there was a shooting at the airport?
Oh,
Well,
it's a scripted event, like a cutscene.
also I feel like yeah, well that's true. I also feel like carrying shit like that. I don't think you can do that as a carry-on.
Sure you can. He did.
Well, yeah, in 1996, but like, it just seems weird that they're like, "Hey, what's this?" And he's like, "Why don't you open it?"
I mean,
Okay,
yeah, that's the
cool.
thing.
And
He was kind of sexy about
you
it,
have,
wasn't he?
you have these
Like,
fucking
little- get a little turned
canisters
on.
here, and they're like,
There's
"I don't
literally
see
been
anything in
chemical
here."
attacks and like people spreading horrible shit at train stations
Yeah.
and airports before. It's like, why are they so blasé about this man being like, here, take a whiff of my bullshit?
He was just like, "Hey,
No, because he was sexy about it. That's
was
the whole.
literally
Jobe, you missed it." The security guard went, "I can't let you through legally. This isn't okay." And he went, "I have to advance the movie, big
I'm
boy."
just saying, it was 1996. I'm
Okay,
pretty
wait,
sure
wait,
the
wait.
airport.
Go ahead.
It's 1996. I'm pretty sure airport security was just allowed to profile,
Yeah.
and that man was acting evil.
Nah.
He's literally like skipping through security. He's like,
He might as well have a big money sign bag over his shoulder, just kind of.
right.
So, post in my worldview as
Post
a person,
Malone.
in post 9/11, it's how it is now, right? Pre 9/11, it's like the movie Airplane, where there's like no rules about air travel,
And
you
there's
can
a
get
lot of
steaks.
snakes on there.
No, completely different movie. You know,
Snakes.
like you show up, they give you a steak on a 45-minute jaunt over from Houston to Dallas or whatever, right? Like
Love this.
they just don't give a shit. You can walk all the way up to the plane without having a fucking ticket, you know? And everything changed on 9/11. But yeah, I'm assuming he just got on the plane and
Northern
no one had told him not to go, and he's just like, let's get the move on, pilot. And
Yeah, he walked right into the cockpit and was like, "Actually, I'm in a bit of a hurry. If you could just kind of
So-
scoot along."
I think we're close to wrapping up. I have one final note.
You can try to wrap
That's
it
what you said last time.
up. Yeah, you said one.
Well, psych, motherfucker. Here comes another one.
Shit, plot twist from Jobe.
Ew, I'm not Brad Pitt. I don't hit women.
I'm already Brad Pitt.
I'm already Tracer.
Nice.
Nerf fashion.
So I'm reading this comic. It's about Avatar after the series, after the events of the series. They're like rebuilding everything. And Zuko for like 5 seconds goes, "Hey, wait a second. I don't think it's fair to uproot my people who have been living in these cities for generations now." And then all of his friends immediately went, "We're gonna have to kill Zuko." And it's kind of annoying. So overall, I think 12 Monkeys is
Welcome
a 7
to the
out of
Avatar podcast.
You give it a 7?
Wow, that's more than I thought you would.
That's more. That's way more than I thought. I thought you were gonna give it like a 4.
You just seem no. I know that you're confused by this, Jobe. It's just you seem very, very lackluster about the whole movie. Like the entire time you look depressed, going, "Yeah, I mean it's fine. I just,
It's just a weird movie to talk about.
okay.
You know?
Yeah.
I think that's
If
the
you
thing.
don't
I
understand
think
time
the
travel,
problem is with you guys.
Whoa!
A movie is either a fucking 9 or 4.
No, I gave
You can't just like a movie okay. You guys either
Baseball's a 5.
Yeah, and I gave something
Baseball.
a 2. Spaceball.
Oh, that one, yeah.
You forgot Spaceballs?
Wow.
I'll
I
go.
said
No,
baseball.
Trace, you go, and then I'll go.
Marshall movie.
Well, first
though.
I wanna pose a question. Would you join the 12 Monkeys? Like
Who
if
you
somebody
asking?
if somebody walked up to you and said, "Do you want to join the 12 Monkeys?" Would you say yes?
Where am I? I'm on the road.
Yeah. And there's a follow-up.
I'm having my earbuds in and just kind of walking like past them.
Okay,
I don't want to
okay.
interact with somebody on the street.
Well, it
I'm
is
sorry.
1996, so the music's probably not all that loud, but then you hear, "Hey, every once in a while during our meetings, we kind of do a
I'd say give me a flyer, and then I'd keep walking away.
perfect." Jobe?
I would take a flyer, but then visibly throw it in the trash.
Now you're targeted. They're gonna open a zoo near you.
What?
Cool.
Anyway, I think it's fun. I've already established. Marshall knows that I'm a slut for time travel. I'm gonna do it someday. I'll live to 2035. It's only 11 years away. I'm gonna get shoved into a big light juice and go back to 1990. I like that you can. It's kind of one of those movies that you can kind of piece together what's happening as you're going. You can kind of go, "Oh, I see what's happening here." Bruce Willis saw this guy get on a plane after somebody else got shot. That's interesting. And then you kind of, can kind of build your speculations from there. I just think that it was a good movie, and I gave it a solid 9 out of 10.
Damn. That's impressive.
A 9 out of 10 isn't solid. It's great.
It's a solid 9 out of 10 for me.
Marshall's
For my money.
You guys' scales are just actually fucked sometimes.
Yeah, what do you think I should give it, Jobe?
A 7.
No.
Hey, Marshall's talking.
Okay.
Marshall movie.
I have to ask you, what's your favorite monkey? Because Trey said he was going to, and no one ever did.
Oh,
my favorite monkey
that was
is
a
the
joke.
capuchin monkey, specifically the one from Night at the Museum.
I like Chimchar.
Chimchar does have a tail. Pretty sure.
He does. It's on
Joe,
fire.
What's your
So
favorite
despite
monkey?
his name making it seem like he'd be a chimpanzee, chimps are actually apes.
Yeah.
Mine is Steve from Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs.
Ooh, that's good. Give us your
Steve's
best.
good. Yeah.
Steve.
Steve.
Great. I give 12 Monkeys a solid 7.255.
Jobe's gonna get mad at you for calling it
That's
solid.
reasonable.
That's a
No,
reasonable.
I-
It's good, but it's not great. It's not great. It's just good.
I think we should watch more time travel movies.
Well, I
Well-
have one on the docket.
Oh yeah,
So-
is it Hot Tub Time Machine?
No.
Okay,
guys, let me do the outro, guys.
yeah, for sure.
So this was Film Bluffs.
And
You can-
nobody interrupt him this time.
Yeah, that would be childish.
So this was Film
What are we
Bluffs.
watching next week?
steal my joke one more time, I'm gonna do it.
This was Film Bluffs. You can. Trace, you gotta mute yourself. I can't do this if you laugh. This was Film Bluffs. Catch us.
Where can they catch
Instagram,
us next,
YouTube, TikTok. My wife makes brilliant TikToks. We're watching Ender's Game next week. It's a Trace pick.
I've never seen it before.
We're watching the movie. If you haven't read the movie or read the book or watched the movie, you can do one or the other. I'm sure they're exactly alike. They're not. Watch the movie, and then maybe you can read the book if you want. Maybe we'll have Jobe over there. Jobe was our...
They both have Rico from Hannah Montana in it.
Our patented reader guy. So, make sure to talk about us to your friends. Sitting around the water cooler at work and be like, yeah, I listened to this podcast, and they're, like, pretty funny. And your coworker will be like, what? Oh? What's the name of the podcast? And you'll be like, it's called Film Bluffs. And then we fade out. We fade out right now.
You guys have your scripts. We fade out. There's no excuses anymore.
I thought they were saying I listened to Film Bluffs, and then they started fading out like of existence. Like I watched Film Bluffs.